This is a very casual vlog of me just talking y'all through this day when I made this three-color batik fabric. So when I walked into the workshop, I think it was a day before I left, and one of my teachers was like, "Yo, sing," well, he didn't say that, but he was like, "You're making your own cloth today from scratch, so go ahead and pick your stamp." It's the stamp I picked, and I went ahead and stamped it. I wanted it to be like sparse because I knew I was gonna add designs into it. After that, we made the first dye color, which was yellow. I wanted yellow because I know that I want like a very light, well, not light, yellow's kind of light. I wanted yellow because I know that we could build off of yellow. Like, I like to start with a very like light color because then when we build on the dye, whenever we are making a multicolor cloth, it's just great to go like late, like obviously start with a lighter color because again, you, unlike the way other fabrics are made in batik, you are the fabric, like the entire fabric is like your canvas, and but you're not painting on the color, you're dyeing on the color and blocking or reserving a particular portion of the fabric, which then becomes your design after you unwax the fabric. So yeah, after I stamped it, we dyed it yellow. Initially it looked black and I was freaking out a little bit, but obviously I knew that chemistry had to do its thing and the fabric would end up being the color that I wanted. On this day, I didn't really record this particular fabric. Like, I didn't record it every step of it. I think because I was doing so many things, and again, it was my last day, so I just had to do a bunch of stuff. Okay, so this is what the color ended up looking like. And while I was waiting for my fabric to dry, one of my teachers, they were putting me to work. Well, no, they were teaching me how to stamp. Because again, like I've said several times, stamping is a skill because you have to make sure that the motif, that you have a perfect stamp. There could be no little cracks, no little lines. So like you almost like the skill of stamping is making sure that you put in like the perfect amount of pressure on the stamp to get like the perfect pattern. So here I am just practicing. And again, this stamp, not again because I haven't said this before, but this stamp is pretty big, so it makes it a little bit difficult to like make sure you have like an even pressure throughout the stamp. But I did my best. And then after that, my fabric was done drying. I stamped it with the second layer of stamp. You can kind of see it here. After we stamped it, went ahead and mixed the dye. This time I wanted orange, which is also is light. It's light enough to where I could layer it again. So here we are. I made the orange dye. And then one of my friends at the workshop was helping me dye the fabric because again, like I'm still learning, and that I'm still learning how to this process as well. So this is the orange. It was a light orange, so this is what it ended up looking like. After that, I went ahead again and did the third layer of stamping, which were the little ovals you saw right there. After that, we went right ahead and made the next dye bath, which would be brown. This was going to be the last color, brown. So the brown is done. And then because I had two fabrics that I wanted to end up being brown, we dyed both fabric at the same time because this is a no waste workshop. So again, because it's a no waste workshop, we went right ahead and dyed both of the fabrics that I wanted in that color. So here they are. Again, the final color for both is going to be brown. So we're going to go right ahead and make sure that the dye penetrates every part of the cloth. And as we're doing this, again, remember I talked about in a previous video that the wax also cracks in this process, but my friend is being very careful because we don't want as much cracks in some of them. So we go ahead and just be more careful so that to minimize the amount of cracks in one of the fabrics. After that, we let the fabric dry and then we go right ahead and melt it in a big pot. This pot was used to melt out the wax for every fabric that was stamped on that day, again because because we did not waste resources at this workshop. So yeah, this is a big pot that with water is boiling the pot, and all the fabrics that were stamped on this day will be melted in this pot of water. And as you're gonna see, the because of the dyes, the water is a darker tone, and that's just because all the dyes kind of settle in the pot. And then after that, the fabric is rinsed in cold water. If you've been paying attention, you know why we do this. This is the other fabric I made on the same day, not the one I'm talking about in this video because I don't have that content. But yeah, so after it was rinsed, it was hung to dry, and this is what it ended up looking like, and I think it's perfect.